If you'd start by telling us your name and how old you are.
My name's Jay Wright, and I'm 45 years of age.
And a little bit about life growing up.
Life growing up, my life growing up was just a normal life. My mum, my brother and sister, my stepfather, who I don't get on with, and still don't get on with. You know, my upbringing was loved. It was, it was nice, but issues. What I don't want to go into regarding certain things.
Yeah, no, of course.
Driven me to, a crime and stuff like that. I felt sort of left out because I was the middle one. I got sort of like picked on and what have you. But,
yeah.
But yeah, loving from my mum and my brother and sister.
What age did you start to turn to crime and stuff?
I'd say about 14.
Yeah. What were you getting involved in then?
Just petty stuff like that time. Mainly like going out and robbing sheds and just basically just bikes and stuff like that.
What did anything like attract you to that, or like appeal about it, or it's just one of them things that
just following the crowd?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Would you say your friends were into like the same stuff then?
She was at that time, yeah. I was a usual lad.
Yeah.
Because I didn't. I've always hung about with people older than me, so I wanted to try and impress, sort of, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Did you ever get caught?
Oh yeah. Yeah. The first time I got caught, I got a right grilling from my mum. yeah. So, but it didn't deter me.
No.
Because I just wanted to get away from my mum's partner. I hated him. I still do. I hate him. Yeah. But to be fair, he was trying to discipline me, and I didn't like the discipline what he was giving me. Looking back on it now, that's all he was trying to do, make me go down the right path. However, I thought I knew better, but obviously my life now as it is and what it's been through, wasn't the right path.
Do you think, is there anything anyone could have done at that age that would have made you turn your life around?
No, because people tried and I just was too stuck into it. And then round about 16 I got a jail sentence for car theft. I come out of that and while I was inside I thought, right, this is it, I don't really want to come back here because it was pretty daunting. However, I went to the Army Careers Office and I was too open and honest and went through all the processing. I told them I just got out of prison and they said I had to wait 3 years before I could go in. Yeah, so if I wouldn't have been open and honest, then maybe my life would have been whatever now.
Completely different.
But saying that, I regret certain things, what I've been through, but other than that, it is what it is.
Yeah, you can't turn back time. So what happened after you got out of prison?
After I got out of prison, I just left home, and I was just living here, there, and everywhere, and then I met a girl. I had a kid to her, which now my daughter's 25. So proud of her, so proud. She's come from, where I come from. She's seen quite a bit, and I'm so proud of the way she's turned out.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I wasn't in her life from the age of 2 because I ended up getting a 16-year jail sentence.
16 years?
Yeah.
What for?
For armed robbery.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but there's one thing I never ever done to my daughter, is never lied to her, because I knew her mum, while I was inside, her mum would have been poisoning her head and stuff like that, because that's just the type of lady she was. However, yeah, I never lied to my daughter, and she respects me for that, and she loves me for who I am. I'm still a dad, I'm still a human, and you know, obviously she doesn't like the fact that I'm dependent on drugs on a daily basis, but you know, I've tried to turn my life around in many ways, but it just hasn't worked because I don't know, I'm just not ready, and I think I'll always be on some type of drug. Yeah.
What age did you first get introduced to drugs?
About 13, 14, started smoking cannabis.
And was that through friends again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
through friends. Then drinking of a weekend, and yeah, just doing the usual. It just spiraled from weed to acid tablets. Had a little stint on ecstasy back in like the early 90s, and then from there, when I got my 16-year jail sentence, that's when I was introduced to the hard stuff.
In prison?
Yeah.
That's scary how it gets in. Like, a few people have said that, and it's scary how it even like gets in there.
Oh, you'd be surprised what gets in there. You'd be very surprised, trust me. Yeah, it's easier to get drugs in there than it is out here sometimes. Yeah.
Were you ever scared trying it? No.
No, because I've had no fear, and I've still got no fear throughout my life. Being from where I'm from and how I grew up, you can't have any fear. If you show fear, then you just get pounced on. So, being introduced to that, like I said earlier, I was an easily led person. So everyone else was doing it, so I thought, fuck it, why not me? I had a go, and it was so nice. It was just like being like a big love round you, and being wrapped in cotton wool. Yeah, and the bars disappeared, and all my thoughts in my head disappeared. You know, just there was nothing there. Just warm, nice, ready breath feeling. It was lovely. However, that's what the devil does to you. Yeah, he deceives you, and then it was so nice. I tried it again, and then again, and I just had an habit on it.
Did you know what it could lead to?
Never, no. If I knew what it had led to, then I would have definitely not. I said yeah that first time. Definitely not. Maybe not the first time. The second time I would have said no. If I knew what it would have led to, i.e., being drug dependent throughout my life, and missing out on things what people have offered me and put forward to me. I would have definitely said no. Yeah.
What's everyday life like for you now?
Groundhog Day, wake up. I have to have something to wake up to, anyway. Otherwise, if not, physically withdrawing of it. So I wake up with a bag of heroin, smoke it, and it just makes me feel a bit normal, ready to get up and get out. Then I get out, and I beg now. I used to be, a shoplifter. I used to do quite a lot of things. However, I beg, which, people may look down at me as though begging, whatever, but it sustains my lifestyle at the minute, and sustains my habit, which is, compared to some people, it's quite a big habit. I'd say about 150, 180 £180 a day.
And do you manage to make all that by begging?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but sometimes, well, most of the time, I use money as well to get into a hostel. so I can get cleaned up and get a shower and stuff. But yeah, there's some nice, generous people out there.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't spend it all on drugs. You know, it's day to day, my day to day living. I have to get my food. You know, I have to, like I say, get a roof over my head, put clothes on my back. Even though there is charities out there, it's hard when you've got an habit to reach out to them charities, because you just one track minded on keeping yourself well. So you know, every 4 to 6 hours I have to have something, crack or heroin. I have to, otherwise I'm physically withdrawing. You know.
Do you ever see yourself getting clean?
Never.
No.
No. I'll be truthful, no. I'll be on some type of drug for the rest of my life. I know people who have given up drugs 25 years in, and within 3 years they've passed away. Because you've got to bear in mind, for 25 years you've been putting a substance in your body, and taking that away, you know, all your health problems when you're on heroin, it suppresses your health. It suppresses, you know, colds, it suppresses everything, you know, and take that away and it, you know, everything, all your health comes back, but in not a nice way, and I don't want that, you know. Not that I don't want that, it's just that I will be on some type of drug, because that's just me.
Yeah.
I'll be truthful, yeah.
Have you got any advice or anything you want to say to anyone watching this?
Yeah. I couldn't say advice. Yeah, advice to anyone who is thinking of starting out on a path of showing off to your mates, or you know, thinking that you know better in life. Listen to the right people around them, and you know, listen to your teachers, you know, and just listen to your elders, man. But I know it's a struggle out there. I know it's a struggle, and you know, just listen to those people who want to direct you in the right way, and take heed of what people are saying to you, because you know, your life, you only get one shot at it, and you know, don't make the mistakes that I've made. Although I regret little things in life, but you know, it's not a good life that I have had. Yeah, and you know, just follow me, watch me, and you know, something else might come of it. You might see other things coming, branching off what this little story is. And that's me, Jay Wright.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching Jay's story. We're now going to talk about it. If you've enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. So Jay.
I thought his name is Badger.
Yeah, his proper name's Jay. He doesn't call himself Badger on it.
Okay.
It's Joanne that called him Badger, so I don't feel like I can call him Badger, because people are going to be like, what the fuck? Jay had a normal life growing up. He didn't like his stepdad, and also he was the middle child, so he said he tended to feel a bit left out, but it was loving from his mum. I think like middle children always do tend to feel a bit left out. That's just my opinion, yeah.
I totally disagree. I'm a middle child.
Yeah, there's 4 of you, so there's not a middle child, is there?
There is. No, it's 5 of us. I'm the middle child.
Oh yeah, you are.
It's true that I feel left out, but my case is different because I've got twins and 2 little brothers, and there's a gap between my twins brothers and my little brothers. So my two little brothers, they're close to each other. My twins, they're twins. So
and then there's you in the middle.
yeah, feel left out.
I always think my sister, like, she was the middle child felt left out. Because me and my brother got on quite well.
Maybe you was the problem.
My mum would say yes.
I
I disagree. He turned to crime at 14. In his words, it was just like petty stuff like robbing sheds and bikes. Is there such thing as like petty crime?
Yeah.
I don't know, like the way I grew up,
Yeah.
I don't see that as normal.
I don't see it as normal, but there's a different type of crime. Like public disorder offense, the petty crime. Do you like?
I get it. Like, I get it. I just don't think it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal compared to a robbery.
You're still robbing people's stuff though.
Robbing people's shed is different from robbing someone's wallet.
I just think like if I come home and someone had robbed my shed, like I would feel
Violated.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is the way I look at it. But then I think when you're a teenager and when you're that age, you don't think it's really like that, do you?
No.
You don't at all. And he said himself that he was following the crowd, easily led, and was just trying to impress his friends. Which I think is the danger of falling in with like an older crowd, is you do want to...
Sometimes it's not even the oldest guy, it's the younger guy that's trying to impress the oldest guy by doing bad
Yeah, that's
things.
what he was trying to, that's what he was trying to do. And I feel like that is the danger of having older friends, is you feel like you have to try to fit in and keep up, isn't it? When he was caught, the telling off from his mum did not deter him. I think you can probably relate to that. Like your poor mum must have lost her shit with you. I don't know how she didn't lose her shit with you.
Nah, my mum was okay with me.
That's what I'm saying. Like your mum has got the patience of a saint.
But I was not that bad. I was not bad as a kid. I used to do my homework.
No, but as a teenager.
I used to go back home early, 8 o'clock. Never used to drink. Never used to smoke. Until the age of 19.
You didn't smoke till 19?
Nope.
Oh.
You can't smoke in an African house.
It judged you wrong, I'm sorry.
Stop being judgmental.
I'm sorry. It didn't deter him because he just wanted, I think, from what I gather from what he said, like he saw that group of older friends and that is his way of escaping his stepdad. He didn't like the discipline he was getting from him. And he said now, like looking back, he can see and he's aware that his stepdad was just trying to get him to go down the right path.
Did you ever realise this? Most guys, especially male, they don't get along with their stepdad. Why do you think is the problem?
Wait, I feel like as a male you should answer that. I have no idea.
Well, this is my personal opinion. Especially as a guy, as a boy, when you're growing up, when you know that person is not your biological dad. So you turn against, when you start ask yourself your question, where's my dad? And why is my dad not around? And you go someone else, a random guy or your mom's partner, trying to fulfill that role, but you know it's not your real dad, and you just think that, why is this man tell me what to do? And most of the time, boys don't get along with the stepdad.
No.
But when they grow up, if the stepdad's still around, they always have a better relationship because they start realizing everything that most of the stepdad
Was just trying to look after.
just trying to look after. But when you're young, you don't see it as that. There's some good stepdad there.
At what point, like I was thinking this when I was watching it back, at what point do you, like as the mum, because I mean Jay's made it quite clear that he still doesn't get on with his stepdad and he doesn't like him. At what point, like obviously it's pointless now, but at what point as a mum do you choose your kid over the relationship if the stepdad's not doing anything wrong.
But
like, it's a real tricky one, isn't it?
personally, for me, if I had a partner, she doesn't get along with my son. See you later.
Yeah, but if your son, if she was being fine with your son, she
Yeah.
wasn't doing anything wrong,
Yeah.
and he just didn't like her.
See you later.
Of
course. Because at the end of the day, my son's gonna be there forever. The partner always can leave. So why would I put my partner first?
I know, I get that.
Yeah.
And obviously I think if your partner does anything wrong, then yeah, completely.
But
But I just thought it was interesting to think about, like, from Jay's situation,
yeah.
like, his stepdad wasn't doing anything wrong.
But if you make my son uncomfortable,
Yeah.
see you later. Because at the
It's
end of the
difficult
day,
because
that's my
obviously,
son.
like, his mum deserves to be happy.
Yeah, but my son deserves to be happy. But if he's not happy because of you, regardless if you're not doing nothing wrong,
Just unhappy, like, with
he's
you
not
as a
happy.
person.
No, I have to make my son happy. Because the relationship can end at any day, but it will never stop being my son. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I thought it was interesting because obviously, like, the parent deserves to be happy, and if the partner's not doing anything wrong, like,
What happened if it was you?
I don't know. That's what I was thinking about.
What would you do? No pressure.
I know.
Breathe in and breathe out. Good girl.
It's. I'm so passionate. I'm not Henny. It depends how unhappy Jazz was.
She doesn't like him at all.
Then he'd have to go.
Exactly. Even if he's not doing nothing wrong.
Yeah, that's the bit that sucks, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Pack your stuff, see you later.
Bye. Bye. So at 16, he got a jail sentence for car theft, and he said, like, whilst he was in there, it was daunting, and he thought to himself, I don't want to go back. So when he left, he wanted to join the army, and he was really honest about his background, and because of that, they didn't let him, and that just sucks, because you just think how different his life could have been.
I can relate to that. I applied
Didn't
for
you
that.
choose not to go?
No. I applied for, I was 17. I think my social worker took me there because I was on youth offender program. I couldn't join the army until everything was finished.
Yeah. And when would everything have been finished?
It was like probably a year and a half, and that was just that. I didn't have the same motivation when it was finished.
I guess because you weren't doing it because you wanted to join the army.
I wanted to join the army, yeah, 17. We went to the base, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Causes them to rebel against it.
Well, I think most of the young offenders, if they give them that option, do you want to go to the army?
Oh God, they're going
Or
to
go
choose
to
that
prison.
over prison.
Of course, but going to the army, you gain more qualification, more discipline. By the time that you leave the army, you have all this qualification that you can get a normal job.
Yeah.
But if they don't give you that option,
That opportunity.
you go in prison, you come out, you're offended again, is just stuck in this big vicious circle.
100%. So after that, he met a girl and he had his daughter. And then when she was 2, he got a 16-year sentence for armed robbery. Indeed.
It must be a severe crime.
Armed robbery?
Yeah, it's a severe crime.
I know. You're like, it must be severe crime. I'm like,
What is the different type of armed robbery? You can be with a knife, you can be with a gun, you can be with a bottle. So it's
Either way, you
yeah,
used a weapon.
use the weapon, but it's severity is changed. With a bottle, you don't get the same sentence as a gun.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can do more damage with a gun quicker.
For sure.
But he said, and I think this is really good and I really respect him for this, he never lied to his daughter. Like, she's fully aware of who he is. I think that's really important.
That's really important.
Like, I'm not saying you expose kids to everything,
No.
but just always be honest with them. They don't want to be lied to, and they don't deserve to be lied to. Despite everything, he's not ready to change his life. And he thinks he will always be on some kind of drugs.
He's honest.
It just makes me sad. Like, that always makes me sad when we talk to people and they don't see a different life for themselves.
Yeah.
And so Jay first got introduced to weed at 13 and sort of drinking at the weekend, which I think is pretty standard.
No, what are you talking about?
Drinking
Yeah.
on a weekend. I don't think that's uncommon, sadly. Like, I think that's probably relatively normal, probably especially even more nowadays, to be aware of that stuff at that age, to me. And then he spiraled from weed to acid, then ecstasy, and then this makes me so sad because prison, like, I get it's meant to be a punishment, but it's also, they've got like a duty of care.
Yes,
to keep the people in there safe. And I know, I'm not like naive, like I know stuff gets into jails and stuff, but he was introduced to the hard drugs in jail.
That heroin.
Yeah, I assume like heroin and crack cocaine.
Yeah.
And that to me, like, it's sad.
The prison should get sued for that, because if I'm going to
But
prison...
then they'll probably say they're trying their best not to let it, like, they're not...
No, you're looking after people. You have to, it's people's life. It's not, you can't get that wrong.
I know, but you, like, surely know if someone's determined to try and get something in, most of the time they'll find a way, won't they? Like, look at getting drugs into the country full stop. Like you can sit here and say in an ideal world that should not happen, but people always find a way to get them in. Because we can't make crack and heroin without the stuff that comes in to the country.
Yeah.
So I think it's very easy to say in an ideal world, but I don't think the prison staff let it.
Oh, they do.
I was going to say, like, I'm not generalising.
Yes, they do. How many officers have you seen in the newspaper go arrested trying to bring things in, put them back in jail?
That's bad. That's real awful.
Put them back in jail.
Then he says, and this to me is sad, that I asked him if he was ever scared about trying stuff, because to me, like, that would fill me with anxiety, like, what if I have a heart attack and die? But he has no fear, and he said that came from growing up, like, you couldn't show fear, or you can't show fear, because the minute you do, you get pounced on.
You can't show fear because people will prey on you.
But I think that's so sad. Like, I agree that is true, as in that is what would happen, but I just think it's real sad that guys can't show emotion. Like, I'm not saying the same way as a woman, but it must be tough. Like, I know as in, like, if I've had a bad day, like, I want to come home and if I vent to you or like Soph or like you just want to get it off your chest.
Yeah.
And to feel like you can't do that, or you can't complain or cry, and it just all gets bottled up like that, to me sounds like it must be really tough.
Why would you cry and make other people feel the same pain that you're feeling? If you can take the pain by
Just
yourself.
like that, I'm never going to cry again. No jokes, I am. Clearly am. Crying's good for you.
It's good, but
I feel better after I've had a good cry.
Asias has been so selfish. Not for me to tell someone. I feel so selfish for me to tell someone how stressful I am, how miserable I am, because it's gonna make that person miserable. It's gonna make that person stressed because I feel like that. But what's the point?
Do you think that is because, like, you can always vent to me?
I don't thank you very much.
I'm a good listener. Do you think that's because, say, like, if I cry or complain or whatever to Sophie, like,
Yeah.
I don't feel bad about it because I know the roles will be reversed.
Yeah.
Like, your friends, like,
Yeah.
it goes back and forth,
Yeah.
it's mutual.
Yeah.
But obviously with guys, it probably wouldn't be like that. Like, do you think that's another reason you'd feel like you couldn't do it?
It's not I couldn't do it. It's not. For me, it's pointless doing it. It's pointless because, like I said before, if you're married, you got kids, you got your wife, you just lost your job and come back. Do you think I'm gonna make my wife and my kid sit down and tell them that what we're gonna be broke now? I don't have no more money. I got sacked from my job. What's the point of me make all my?
Because do you not think that's good communication? I'm not saying to tell your kids it, but to
Even
tell your
my-
wife.
No.
And that is why you're single.
Okay, you back.
I fully believe you, don't worry. I think the really sad bit is he didn't know where it would lead to. And if he did, he never took it. And I just hope that if someone watches one of these or a couple of these and takes anything from it, that it's, if it's in a week, a month or years, if they're ever offered something, they think back to one of these videos and be like, that's actually not where I want my life to go. Like, if it only changes one person's life, I feel like we've achieved something. Because I think it's important for people to see where it can lead to.
I agree with you.
And I just hope that even if he stays on drugs, like he says he thinks he will, I still hope he has a long and relatively happy life. Like, I hope he's happy.
I hope he's happy.
Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next week. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have enjoyed. Thank you.